Howdy folks, it's One of a Nine here from One of a Nine TV and WorldOfTanksTipsAndTricks.com. And today I'm going to be bringing you some map tactics for mines. So before we get into it, let's just label a few areas so we all understand. You've got the hill right here, you got village here, and peninsula here. Those are the three major areas that you will be fighting over on mines. So if you spawn in the north, if you spawn in a fast tank, you want to consider going up to the hill from your spawn. The north does get a slightly better run than the south, but they both get there at roughly the same time. So the hill is extremely important because it dominates this whole area of the map. If your team fails to take the hill, you must fight down the peninsula to try and break the deadlock. Leave some tanks to hold them, being able to not push, back here, or here, or back here, back here. And then you gotta fight your way through the peninsula if you do not have control over the hill. Okay, so what are these green bits? These green bits are common tank destroyer or sniping tank positions. And as you can see, you can sit here, here if you're in the north, and you can shoot down to the hill, down this way, and even onto the peninsula. If you set up here, that's mostly going to stop a push through the village. But if you set up here, spawning in the south, you can shoot the hill, you can shoot anything up here, which is big because those are common spotting positions. Or you can shoot to the peninsula. Alright, so this red arrow. This is a position you can take as specifically your medium tanks, and you can shoot up to the hill, which is an important spot to be able to dominate, to be able to win this map. You want to be shooting up to the hill. You do have to be wary of tanks here, as well as here, and if anybody up here decides to turn around and fire back at you. So you kind of gotta hug the edge of the map border right here. You can get pretty well hull down, not completely, but you can shoot up if your team has already lost control of the hill. Another thing you can do from the north is you can push all the way down to here and you can farm everything here, but to do this, your team has to have control of the hill already in order to push the enemy tanks back down into this position here. And finally, the last thing you can do on this map is push the village. So it's really common to see, your super heavies fighting in this area right here, maybe a few tanks going up to there and fighting there, but mostly it happens right along the base of the cliff because you can get shot from here, if you're in this area. So that is kind of the way mines generally works. So where do you want to go based on class? So your super heavies, you typically want to go down here. Your hull down heavy tanks or your fast heavy tanks, you want to be fighting more in this area right here, controlling the entrance to the hill. Your light tanks, your fast mediums, it's good to compete for the top of the hill, but do not go by yourself. You're just throwing away your tank. And unfortunately, even if you send 3 tanks up, the enemy sends 3 tanks up. At least one of you on each team is going to die. It's just the way it is. It's kind of the luck of the draw, but this is the most important position on the map because if you're in the south, you can use these positions to spot all of this. If you spawn in the north, you can use these positions to spot all of this here. So the hill is the most important on mines. If you don't want to fight and you're in a medium tank, you can go to the peninsula and you can push down like this, or you can push up like this, depending on which side you spawn. And you can get cross shots into tanks through these little gaps here, 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 here. And that's a good way to deal damage, but you don't want to camp. TDs, if you're sitting here, which is going to be a good starting idea, but if the battle moves, the TD has to move. So for example, if you win Peninsula, and you know that there's not many tanks pushing over this, move. Take the peninsula. Sit here and you can get shots onto everything that's there. Or if you're started here, or like here, you can move down here and get shots up into everything here, or you can come around the hill and shoot everything here. Again, playing a TD is all about moving. And then your SPGs, you kind of hide in the back here or here. There's not really much else you can do on this map as an SPG because it is so small. But make sure you are in good cover, because if the enemy team takes this position or this position, you can get spotted if you're out in the open. And your light tanks, yeah, you just want to make sure you take the hill or you go to the peninsula if there's a lot of light tanks on your team. That's the other option. I would not recommend bringing a light tank here. It's probably not going to work very well. Alright, anyways, that was a brief overview of Mine's map tactics. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day, and thanks, and goodbye.